Cheetahs. Everyone knows cheetahs for their great speeds, but did you know that these cats aren't really nature's favorites? Instead, they're actually nature's favorite punching bag. Cheetahs are the weakest of the big cats. They're only built for magnificent speed, and that's almost the only gimmick they have. Don't get me wrong though, I love these cats. And I do understand that their speed is literally unbelievable. Cheetahs can run at about 80 to 130 kilometers per hour. And if you're not good with numbers, to put that in comparison to us, an average human runs at about 10 to 13 kilometers per hour. That means it's almost 8 times faster than us. If you still don't understand the sheer speed of these savanna cats, Usain Bolt, who you already probably know as the fastest man alive, ran at about 40 kilometers per hour at his best. In other words, the fastest human being recorded is still about only half as fast as these spotted speedsters. So no matter how hard you train, you're gonna lose. Even if you bring out your brains in a fight of muscles, the cheetah is literally faster than a Lamborghini or a Porsche 911. The cheetahs achieve these devious speeds by having one of the most flexible backs among the big cats. We're talking about an elastic level of flexibility. You could hand your 3-year-old a cheetah spine, and if they tried bending it, they'd find a plastic straw tougher. These spines help them in retracting their legs too close and stretch them out too far to create a monstrous leap. And one thing you probably never would have guessed, but the cheetah's tail is to help them stay on balance when making sharp and deadly turns in a chase. How exactly, I hear you ask? Well, that's because it uses it as counterweight. You know when you push your arms out when you're about to fall like a cartoon character? Yeah, the cheetah uses the tail for just that. And for the next fact, let's have a little quiz. How do you think the cheetah actually kills its prey? A. It bites its prey in the neck during the chase. B. It jumps on their back and then steers it to go down. C. Or does it trip its prey like the cartoony animal that it is? If you picked option C, congrats. If you picked any other option, don't worry, someone had to be insane to guess C. The cheetah catches up to its prey, trips it, and then bites its prey's neck, and then takes a little trip to hide it. Cheetahs are usually solitary animals and tend to hunt alone, but sometimes brothers from the same litter band together and form a coalition. It sounds so political and devious for something straight out of a Looney Tunes episode. A coalition usually has like 2 to 3 males, and normally cheetahs can't hunt down larger prey. But with the power of friendship and love, they can hunt down zebras, kudus, and even ostriches. And it wouldn't have been possible without its turbo speed. But then again, speed is really all it's good for. If Zootopia were an actual thing, cheetahs would be the overqualified people, due to its speed, who somehow work an underpaid corporate 9-to-5 job for hyenas and lions. Cheetahs do have a whopping 50% successful killing rate, but literally lose their food to hyenas and lions, since cheetahs are speedy, but they're not really built for endurance. Right after it hunts down an unfortunately slow animal, it's almost 2 breaths away from dying of being just tired. Okay, I may have exaggerated that a bit, but what I want to say is that it gets its food stolen from it, because it's too tired to fight back, and sometimes even by vultures, who only eat bodies of dead animals. In other words, a cheetah, after a chase, is as dangerous to anyone as a lifeless corpse. That's upsetting. And on top of that, unlike their cousins jaguars, they can't carry their hunt on top of trees to keep away the meddling thieves because cheetahs have retractable claws which aren't really built for climbing trees. They can climb trees, but your average human is probably better at it. On top of all that embarrassment, they can only continue this speed frenzy for 30 seconds. If 30 seconds go by and they haven't caught a prey yet, they'll just tell you how they're full anyways and hide their tears as they walk away. Basically, this speed burst is a power-up they cast over themselves, and it has a long cooldown. It's also about the only enchantment they have, which the statistics really prove to be true. Cheetahs are endangered animals that really need to be preserved. Only about 7,100 of them exist as of right now, which is an alarmingly low number. But I don't want you to be sad thinking about these cute savanna kittens. Here's a cute fact in case you haven't smiled today. If you've ever been to a zoo, you might have seen a dog in the cheetah cage. And no, it's not its next meal. This is a zoo, not Jurassic Park. The dog is an emotional support dog, which I didn't even know animals have, but hey, who am I to judge? Anyways, the cheetahs are so used to being bullied by anything that moves, they're basically always scanning for an escape route. But a zoo doesn't really provide that facility, which results in them being too anxious to even mate. No, I did not make that up. That's a real problem zoos have, and a big one because of their declining numbers. To solve this, the dogs, or sometimes known as nature's angels, come into play. The dogs are united with these relatable cats because they're always anxious. At a very early age, the cheetahs form a great bond with these canines, and it reduces stress knowing they have a friend with them. If that isn't one of the cutest things you've ever heard, then you're probably dead inside. One could argue that a zoo is no place to keep a cheetah in the first place, and I would second that, since the cheetahs have evolved to be one of the fastest animals and it needs space to run. But for the 100th time, speed is all it can do. The cheetah is not an animal with a diverse skill set. It maxed its points in speed and speed alone. So now when the change is upon us, with climate change, their habitats are being destroyed and humans hunting or driving them away from their natural habitats. The cheetah finds it hard to continue living and adapting to this new world. So unfortunately, soon enough, the zoo will be the only home for these speedy cats. Even with its tremendous speed, it may not be able to outrun extinction. As a matter of fact, the cheetah had already gone extinct in India for unnatural reasons, but that could be a subject to change. The government of India has introduced plans to bring back the cheetahs into India with an initiative called Project Cheetah. What this project aims to do is bring in cheetahs from Africa and put them in zoos, and they probably will eventually release them into the wild where they belong. But guess what? In the wild you can't hear a cheetah, but in the zoo, you can. If you haven't heard, no pun intended, a cheetah can't roar. It can only meow, chirp, or make some other silly noises. If you are sad today or any other day, please remember, you can always search cheetah noises on YouTube. I promise you, it's free antidepressant. Keep this tip close to you on a bad day. It'll go far with you. Trust me. To add more on top of these speedy furballs, the cheetah has black tear marks, which actually exist to protect its eyes from sun glare. But honestly, my theory is that they have it because they look extremely cute with it. Another thing you might have noticed if you've seen the meme with the cub is its weird thick back fur. That's because these adorable cubs have a certain fur on the back which resembles savanna grass, and you bet it's great camouflage. Even nature knows that these cubs need to be protected. Nature may have bullied this poor animal with evolution, but it did give it the one thing it needs to continue its survival: being cute. This cuteness comes in 5 different flavors, species. The Asiatic cheetah, South African cheetah, Northwest African cheetah, Sudan cheetah, Tanzanian cheetah. Out of these, the Asiatic and Northwest African cheetahs are critically endangered as declared by the IUCN, and are pretty close to having their tenses change from present to past. The Sudan and Tanzanian cheetah are doing better than the previously mentioned two, but even they are classified as vulnerable by the IUCN. As for the South African, they're doing better than a student with an answer sheet during an exam. Relatively speaking to the other species, that is. Because they're still endangered. Fortunately enough, all of them are absolutely adorable. And not just any cute enough that it can melt away the heart of the apex predators. I meant us. Oh. As long as we humans continue to find the cheetahs cute, only God can exterminate these creatures out of existence. There is a lesson to be learned from the cheetahs saga. If you've watched this video till the end and plan on playing a new RPG game, be it Elden Ring or any other game with skill sets, please refrain from using all your skill points in just one area, even if it is trending at the time. Because soon, just like the cheetah, the trend might change, and the one thing you're renowned for will become the only thing you're clowned for. And just like the sun sets on our African savanna journey today, we're nearing the end of our video. But wait! Don't let the cheetahs be the only fast ones around here. Quick! Don't forget to subscribe and like for more amazing content, and share if you found this useful, and I'll see you in the next video.